Hi guys, it's Sarah here. Welcome back to the channel. So this video is all about how much it really costs to own guinea pigs, including what my average costs are and what research tells me things like housing, food, enrichment, and of course veterinary bills can set you back. Now obviously I'm based in the UK here, but I will convert prices to US dollars, and I will also mention when the cost of things might vary depending on which country you're in. So whilst things are changing and exotic pets, including guinea pigs, are seeing a general improvement in their care, traditional thinking is hard to shift, especially here in the UK. Unfortunately, piggies here are often still seen as a cheap starter pet, one that doesn't require much care and certainly not a lot of money. And whilst I'm not saying it costs the earth to own piggies, it definitely is something any responsible piggy owner needs to be aware of, especially for being prepared for the more expensive costs such as vet bills. So I split it up into different categories of what you'll spend money on, and I'll tell you what I spend and what you can expect your average spend to be. Okay, so let's start off with the guinea pigs themselves. Now, compared to how much it costs to care for them, they themselves don't actually cost that much at all. Through my research, I found it can cost anywhere between £10 and £45 per guinea pig. Obviously though, this varies a lot. It depends where your guinea pig is from, it depends whether they're a specific breed or whether they're from a rescue. So using mine as an example, I got Phoebe and Roxy from a hobby breeder and they were £20 each. But that's less than you'll pay in normal pet shops. I think places like Pets at Home in the UK charge £25 per guinea pig, whereas Petco in the US, correct me if I'm wrong, will charge $49 per guinea pig. As for my other piggies, Lyra is a pedigree Lunkaya. I bought her from a breeder for £40, and you can expect to pay more for different breeds and rare breeds. And for Pedro, his adoption fee from the RSPCA was £35. That's a bit higher than normal because he is a neutered boar, so you're helping cover some of the costs to have that done. Moving on, and there will be quite a few setup costs with owning guinea pigs, the cage being the major one. And the cost of a cage will vary so much depending on what style you go for. Maybe you have an outdoor hutch or an indoor pre-made pet shop cage, a DIY CNC cage, or something like this cage behind me, which is a DIY timber build cage. Looking at indoor cages from the pet shop though, one large enough for 2 piggies will set you back between £100 and £150, which converts to around $140 to $210 US. But definitely search around. If you do get guinea pigs from a pet shop, don't buy the cage from the same place. Don't let them suck you into buying something that's there. Look around, and a lot of popular cages such as the Midwest guinea pig habitat are often available for a cheaper price. If you look at outdoor hutches, they can be a lot more expensive, maybe between $150 to $200, if not more, for a really spacious one. And if you want to own 3 or more piggies, basically the only options are to combine an adaptable cage such as the Midwest or go DIY, and CNC cages are a great option for this. If you've not heard of CNC cages, look into them, do your research, and they might well be the cage for you. Along with the cage, there will be other startup costs, and this is where reoccurring costs start to come in too. So things like hides, accessories for the cage furniture, and enrichment for your piggies as well, such as any toys or treats that you buy them, or just replacing things that they destroy. But for basic startup supplies for 2 piggies, say 2 water bottles, a food bowl or 2, and a single hidey, tunnel and toys, I would recommend allowing for a budget of at least £40 to £50. And then reoccurring costs in this category pretty much come down to your individual taste and the kind of things that you end up wanting to buy your piggies. And this could be anywhere from between £5 and £50 a month, especially if you're someone who likes to buy your piggies handmade cozy items or have a really wide variety of toys and hideys for them. Next up is a more basic category. So monthly costs for things like dried food and bedding usually include a standard guinea pig pellet, at least 1 type of hay, and a natural bedding or money towards fleece liners that you can reuse in the bottom of their cage. Okay, so I worked it out, and for me this cost comes to just short of £35 a month. That's because a big bag of hay, a bag of of pellets and about half a box of their Timothy hay lasts me 3 weeks at a time. So on average, you're probably looking at £10 a month for hay, £10 for bedding, and £5 for guinea pig pellets, giving an average of between £20 and £25 a month. You can obviously save money here with cheaper products, but you will sacrifice quality, and having poor quality hay, a dusty bedding, and a cheap dry food mix will simply not be as good for your piggy's health and could actually lead to higher costs for things like vet bills down the line. So where possible, always try and get the best quality hay and dried food for your piggies. Next up is fresh food. So piggies should have fresh vegetables on a daily basis. This should generally work out a little less expensive than the dried food and hay, but still expect to pay at least £5 to £8 a week in order to feed 2 piggies a diet that includes a decent variety of fresh vegetables. This is working on the basis of a small amount of at least 5 different vegetables a day per piggy for 2 piggies. So our last category is another one that's hugely variable and it's quite difficult to work out an average for, and it is vet bills. So owning guinea pigs, you might have no vet bills or any health related costs for a year or more at a time, and then something will inevitably come along that requires a vet visit. If you're lucky, this will be a one-off consultation and a simple prescription of medication. So here in the UK, you can expect to pay between £30 and £60 for a vet appointment, with typical drugs such as an antibiotic and painkiller costing around £20, and this might successfully treat things like urinary tract infections, respiratory infections, or minor eye problems. However, do bear in mind that costs can increase dramatically if it's anything more long-term or where further investigation or more medications are needed. Here in the UK, things like x-rays, scans, or blood tests can cost upwards of £100 each, and I think in the US, good veterinary treatment for guinea pigs is a lot more expensive. And not forgetting there may be other related costs too, such as getting critical care to feed your piggies, probiotics, and any other products that can help them get through an illness. So I really wanted to work out an example for you, so I added up all the money that I've spent on vet visits, treatment, and other health costs over the last year, so that's from June 2020 to June 2021, and I was pretty shocked. It really does show how you cannot predict when vet visits are going to be needed and how much it might set you back. So between June and December last year, I only spent £150 on a few minor vet visits. This year so far though, I have spent £1,200 on vet care for the piggies. So that included Willow's consultations and end-of-life treatment, Lyra's consultations, her x-ray, a tooth trim, and an emergency vet visit, and for Pedro most recently, his consultations, medication for digestive problems, and an x-ray as well. So it's only an example obviously, but across the last year I have spent £1,350, and that works out an average of £112 a month. And when I think to myself, wow, that's a lot of money, I have to remember that there's a really high chance that without the medicine and the help I got from the vets, both Lyra and Pedro would probably not be here. And at the end of the day, I would much rather be out of pocket than lose 2 of my piggies before their time. So how do we deal with those vet bills? Well, I would recommend putting aside some money every month to go towards future visits. You can get pet insurance for guinea pigs. I don't personally do it because it is so erratic, and I think it probably works out a similar amount over a long period of time. In the US, I'm not sure. There might be better pet insurance deals that you can get for things like guinea pigs. Okay, so what does it all add up to? Well, I think on average, the startup costs for owning 2 piggies will be between £200 and £250. Then reoccurring monthly costs for things like food, hay, vegetables, any toys and treats allow around £50 a month. And then for vet bills, as we mentioned, I'd consider putting a little bit of money aside every month, maybe between £20 and up to £50 if your guinea pigs are getting a bit older. So that's everything for this video, guys. I hope you found it useful and interesting. If you you did, then please give us a thumbs up. And for anyone who is a guinea pig owner, then do leave us a comment below. Let us know how your monthly costs compare, and as well for other people, share on average how much you spend on things like vet bills, because they can vary dramatically. I know that I've seen really high numbers, especially from people in the States. I think vet bills there are definitely a lot higher than here in the UK. And if you're a new owner or just looking to learn more, I will put 2 of my videos up now. The first one is common guinea pig care mistakes that owners make, and the second one is my guinea pig life hacks. So definitely check those out if you're interested. But that's all from us for now, so we will see you in the next video. Bye bye!